What is up, Black Line crew? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I am your host, Matthew McKim. We're going to have a good show today. And I mean that. All right. I'm not going to pull a Barron and say it's a bombshell, but we got some good stuff to look at. And then I got a special guest coming on at the end. You guys are going to want to stay tuned all the way through. All right. As you come in, please hit the like and the subscribe. If you've done so already, pat yourself on the back and say good job. And if you haven't, shame on you. Go do it. Push the button. All right, cool. Let me get back here. Let's see. Candace Owens came out of her little hiatus. And yeah, so I wasn't the only one. We read that yesterday on the show, and we shared a lot of the same opinions about Trump. She hit it hard. I agree. I think Zach Costello did the same thing too. He went over it today as well. Whoever Trump is now, it's not who we thought he was. Was he always like this? And he just had us all fooled? Or, did Philly scare the living daylights out of him when they pulled that, assassination attempt on him? It's pretty interesting to hear. I think it was her that Candace said that it was Candace that said that Trump had told Charlie, or said it to Charlie, or in front of Candace and Charlie, that he was planning on taking Miriam Adelson's money and then not doing anything about it. Yeah, I would say, given that she is super close with Bibi, she was in the Bibi files, she was deposed, that she probably, if they're reading Tucker's texts, right? If they're monitoring important people, controversial people that have a lot of impact on the slaves, right? To quote Candace Owens, right? The crowd, right? The people in the stands, us. Yeah, they'd be looking at Charlie. They'd be watching his stuff. They'd be seeing what he's saying, what he's texting. And for sure, whatever, got back to Bibi. And yeah. Well, I can't shake that. Charlie for sure would have been on that list. There's really no question. I like how Candace played it at the end. She showed, these people, they talk out of their mouth sideways. They one thing, and then it's much like Erika. It's like, did he forget that Candace and Megan and Tucker and Charlie and Alex Jones literally were like the first people to root for him, to support him and be on his team? Like, he went on all their shows, and then to turn and say what he said in that text. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have a feeling he may have someone do a social media, but not to the point where, like, I don't think he's going to let anyone say anything on his behalf. I think if anyone is there, they're like helping him tweak it a bit, but it's Trump. Trump is doing Trump. He's not letting anyone speak for him under his name, under his handle. That's Trump, right? Hands down. America is the hottest country. That's Trump. That's Trump, man. He's a joke. I said it yesterday. He's not a Christian. Never really was. He fooled us all. He fooled us all. He fooled me. And yeah, to see what he's done with Bibi and this war, and I think it's very easy to believe that they either forced Trump and JD, they blackmailed him, they threatened him to go along with covering up the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I don't think that, like, Trump was the one that planned it and JD was the one that planned it. But I think in the end, if they're like, if like Masan, Philly and Bibi comes to them, they're like, we can ruin all of you. We could take you all down, or we're just going to take him out and you're going to help us cover it up. And mum's the word, or else you're next, or we show the world all your dirty little secrets. And I got to say, I believe they would be like this. Okay, sure. Sounds good. Let's do it. All right. We're going to look at two interviews that Erika did a way back when, some of which we've only seen small portions of. I haven't seen them in their full, setting or whatever, their full length. They're gold mines. We're going to look at them and we'll break them down, and then we'll have the special guest on at the end. All right. All right. Let's get into it. This is Will Kane Country.
In the name of God, why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life. Here.
And if you guys remember, she went out on this book tour release in the beginning of December. So that's the context of the time frame here.
Today on Will Kane Country. But let's get into story number 1. Erika Kirk is the chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA. She is also here to talk about Charlie Kirk.
This is the day that we all noticed. This is, I see it now. This is the picture where behind her on the book stand, the wedding picture is gone. I think that was from this day that everyone noticed that. And I only saw the still photo of it, but I think this was the interview.
Kirk's last book, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life. Hi, Erika.
Hi, good morning.
So I'd love to ask you, just to start, how you're doing. But I don't mean that as a broad-ranging global question. I mean that on two fronts specifically that tie to today. Number one, how are you doing? You've been doing so much media. You're up here doing Fox.
So that's
many
the thing
interviews,
is,
Erika.
I know, and that's the thing is that's not something that I woke up one morning and said, I need to go on all of these TV shows. I need to go on all these podcasts. That's not at all how this happened. My husband finished this book back in July. All of this media.
He didn't, remember. In December, or sorry, in September, in the beginning of September, or it was the end of August, we know that it was released that he still needed it to go to editing, right? And there was a text and it referenced Blake Neff. And so it wasn't done. It wasn't done in July, right? It hadn't gone to editing and it hadn't been kicked back to him to finalize, like to sign off on any of the edits that, the editors were requesting of him. So no, it wasn't done in July.
His media book tour itself was scheduled for all this whole time. It's already been scheduled. Every public speaking event that I have had outside of the memorial has been because my husband was supposed to do that. And I was honoring my husband and I was honoring his friendships. And for example, Megyn Kelly, that last tour stop was supposed to be my husband. Another example, New York Times with Andrew Ross Sorkin. That was an event my husband was supposed to do with him for Deal Books because his book was about to come out. Everything this week was because my husband was supposed to do that for his book tour. I cannot wait for a peaceful Christmas. That's what I'm looking forward to, being with my babies, focusing on Turning Point USA, putting our heads down and continuing to get to work because we have midterms coming up and having an amazing 2026. I am not looking to become a political pundit. I don't need a TV show. I don't want a TV show. I don't want a radio show. I have my marching orders. I'm here to honor my husband.
I wonder who gave her marching orders, you guys. Could it be, what was his name? Pierre Falcone? The guy that gave $1 billion? Or could it have been Bibi, who gave $150 million? I mean, who's given her the marching orders that she speaks of? We know it's not the journal that Charlie left her, because God knows for sure there'd be some things in there, some personal things that Charlie didn't feel comfortable probably saying to anyone out loud about everything that he was going through, right? We have a clip of Megyn where it was yesterday. She knows for a fact that these people were making his life a living hell. Knows for a fact. Tucker said the same thing. No, Erika, no, there's no problem. No. Charlie wasn't afraid. No, no, no. No one was giving him hell. The Hamptons, I was there. It was lovely. We had pancakes. He liked powdered sugar. I almost forgot what that word was.
And I'm here to do a service to him of making sure that his book gets out in the hands of millions across this world so that it can make a difference. That's what, and yes, I'm doing just fine. I have my tea this morning. I got a good night's sleep, and here we are. We're rolling.
I'm glad.
How disgusting. September, October, November, 3 months. Look at that smile, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, let me remind you, her husband was just assassinated 3 months ago to that date. She's doing fine. She got a good night's sleep. She has her tea. She wants the book to be sold to millions of people. She's doing great. She's got her marching orders. Nothing can stop Erika Kirk. What do we got here? We got Erika, get lost. Oh, wait, you already are. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Thank you for that.
I know how exhausting it can be to be on so many different shows.
Yes.
She does not look exhausted, Will. I don't know who you're looking at.
I hope you're honoring the Sabbath. I did learn recently in reading a new book, Stop in the Name of God, that you can't just tell yourself that this will pass, that there'll be a new season, that you can rest when it's over. You have to be honoring it. I'm curious, are you, amidst this entire whirlwind, Erika, are you honoring the Sabbath?
No.
You have to pick and choose. There's times where I will turn my phone off for a few hours.
That's not the same thing, Erika. Turning your phone off for a few hours is not the same as Shabbat Shalom. Honey, I'm home. Phone is gone in the drawer for 24 hours from sunset to sunset the next day. That's what your husband wrote about. That's what Charlie wrote about. You're not doing it. And here you are on a book tour telling everyone to do it. You are unbelievable.
I didn't choose just one specific full day.
Like the book says, like Charlie said to do. You got to pick that day, and it's that day each week.
As of yet, it used to be Friday night, all day Saturday. As you can imagine, things are a little frenetic, but also my mom is very sick. So I want to be able to be available in case.
You think she meant phonetic or kinetic?
She does go back into the hospital. So I'm trying to keep all of that in mind.
Oh, mommy dearest. Mommy dearest. You got to play that card. She's super sick. You guys saw the post, though, right? I put that out the day before my husband was murdered. And yes, she's sick. Yeah. You saw that. Okay.
But
I don't have social media. She said that at another date. I don't do social media. I don't have social media. I don't pay attention to social media. I'm not on social media.
if someone needs to get a hold of me, they will know how to get a hold of me. So, for example, in the book, he also talks about how you can sunset your devices. So once 5 o'clock hits, unless it's an absolute emergency and the world is burning, get a hold of me. If it's life or death, obviously get a hold of me. But once you set those boundaries, people respect them. And honestly, too, as we're trying to heal from this trauma, we're doing our best to make sure that as we continue forward, we're also creating our own little mini Sabbath throughout the day. So if that means you need to take an extra few hours and just.
Will is confused. Here's what you're going to hear, ladies and gentlemen. We got Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Very generous. Stuck at work tonight, but wishing everyone a wonderful evening. Thank you, Sonia. Sorry you're stuck at work. Hopefully you can stay tuned. It's gonna be good. Okay. Do you guys remember? So do you think it's honest for someone to promote a book that they haven't read? To say this book is amazing, but they haven't read the book. Not to mention it's her husband's last book. Remember when she was in that classroom at ASU, she quoted that movie. She's like, I realized that the first time I read this book will be the last time I read it for the first time. And I've been putting it off. Because I just can't get my strength up to read it. Okay. Well, this guy read it this morning before he interviewed you. And so he's a wee bit confused because it talks about a day, a 24-hour period, not some sort of moonlighting, like a couple hours. You could switch it whenever you want. This lady, man. I'm on
breathe and go sit with the Lord.
Mm.
Great.
Mm.
Because you can't do it on a full day, do something. That's what this book is about. Do something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be legalistic. It doesn't have to be whatever.
Look at Will. He's so confused. He's like, oh my gosh, I don't think she's read the book. I read the book. The book doesn't say this. What's happening right now?
Everyone else is doing, make it work for you. And that doesn't matter if you're a believer or a non-believer, or if you're, whatever you are. Just do what works best for you.
And we will get into a little bit more of what Charlie talks about in Stop in the Name of God, which I did read this morning. I found it an incredibly compelling read. I actually, and no offense to Charlie or to you, I think it's even more compelling than the title. I think this is going to apply to everyone, regardless of even your own religiosity, your own belief. This is something that can make you a healthier person, tied to biblical wisdom. And I do want to get.
Oh my gosh. You guys, did you see that? You guys, she did he goes, she goes, yes, it can. I can't do it, man. You saw it though. It can.
Get into that in just a moment. But you're also, Erika, you're doing this like what you just rattled off in a time of trauma, doing all this media, running an organization, and then you're a mom. And then you have these two kids. I don't know how you balance. I truly don't know. I think of myself, as everyone listening probably does as well, as a busy person. I know how incredibly busy your husband was, but yet you are also a mom.
Okay. This is insane. Okay. So I didn't get to watch. I was listening to the whole thing in preparation for tonight. Looking at her face is a totally different experience than just listening to the BS that's coming out of her mouth. She is the worst actress ever in the world. Holy smokes. There is no authenticity and genuineness in her at all. Like, you could just see right through that empty shell of a human. I feel like her name should be stripped from her. She shouldn't get to have the last name Kirk.
Yeah, I am. But I got to tell you, it takes a village, and we have one heck of a village. Charlie handpicked all of the leadership on our team at Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, the Charlie Kirk Show. He handpicked everyone.
That's insane. That's literally impossible that he could have handpicked every single 300 employee person there. No. Turning Point Action is Tyler Boyer's thing. He probably hired the people for Turning Point Action. Somebody else was part of running TPUSA Faith. Okay. You're saying like he hired the mail person. You're saying he hired that security guard that went out and confronted the Un-F America people at the headquarters the other day. That young dude. He hired everyone.
And that's what's so special. And that's what I've told people this before, our staff and everyone on our team,
Family.
We're so mission focused. And we realize even more so when it's like when you go to war with someone, that's a totally different level of.
It's weird. This was before we went to war. And in that she's framing everything, and she was using militant language from the beginning, and she did it in her Club America speeches. In the Make Heaven Crowded in California speech, using, marching orders, saying like, we're going to war. Like, what?
Of just human instinct. I can't explain it.
We know.
But the bond between all of us is way deeper than a 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's called trauma bonding, moron. You or you guys all planned perpetrated, carried out, and covered up, the gnarliest thing you can do is taking someone's life, in my opinion. And yeah, I'd say that would bond all of you, because literally, if one of you falls off and starts freaking spouting their mouth off, yeah, you all go down. You all go down. And I'm convinced, okay, after watching all these characters on X today, Jack Posobiec, Blake Neff, freaking Andrew Colvett, you guys, the handwritten note was released today. Let's take a moment. Let's look at this handwritten note. Get ready. It's not a handwritten note. Someone typed it up. So we just have to take the word on it. So once again, they want to talk about producing evidence, right? So all day today on X, they're like, oh, the handwritten note just dropped. Let me sure you guys can see it. Yeah. Oh, it's really small. I'll make it bigger. Don't worry. Whoa. Okay. Luna, if you are reading this per my text, then I'm sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission, and I set an auto text. I'm likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I took it. I don't know if I will have succeeded, but I've hoped to make it home to you. Give me a freaking break. Wasn't that a Kit Kat commercial? Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Fed slap. I wish we could have lived in a world where this did not feel necessary. I wish I could have stayed for you and lived our lives together. I lack the words to express how much I love you. I mean, you just literally supposedly wrote them. Okay. And how very much you mean to me. Please try to find joy in this life. Love you always. Tyler. Complete BS. But the most ridiculous part of it is that Jack and freaking Blake and freaking Andrew and all of them are like, look at this handwritten note. Oh my gosh, you guys, handwritten note. And it's freaking typed up. We don't believe you guys. You guys can't say anything anymore, and we take you at your word. I think that was like day 2, like literally on September 13th, where we were like, oh, this is totally off. They all seem guilty of something. We just hadn't pinpointed it yet. We got your number now, though. And so you guys come out at any point and you're like, oh, Charlie said this. Oh, Charlie wanted this. Charlie said Erika should be CEO. BS. Show us the video. You released a stupid audio of it. Like, what's the difference, man? Oh, if we're going to say that's AI generated, but your whole defense for not releasing the video is that like, oh, Candace is going to say that's AI generated. What's the freaking difference, man? Because AI ain't that good at faking video yet. Like, it's pretty obvious. Okay. Like you can see, like, if you're not a boomer, no offense to boomers, but I mean, what's her name? I think it was on an X Space the other day. The young lady was like, yeah, I went to my mom's house and she was watching this total AI generated, these Philadelphians singing Spanish hymns to my mom. And my mom thought it was real. And it's like, yeah, my mom would fall for something AI generated too, And so, but we wouldn't. We could look at it and go like, oh, that ain't real. He's got 6 fingers, man. What the heck? I don't believe anything they say.
It's way more personal. I'm not saying that if someone does something wrong, we don't fire them. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that we.
Okay, what if they do nothing wrong? Do you fire them? Your family members, your family that you're bonded with. You love each other.
We are so bonded with something right now that is so traumatizing.
Yeah,
but also we know and we believe so much in our God and his sovereignty and his goodness. And yes, it's painful, but we have a team that we can rely on. We're not doing this alone. I could not do this alone, and I do not take full credit. I am weak every morning I wake up. And when I wake up, I ask the Lord, give me grace. Fill me with your strength. This is not human This is not human. This is God. And I give him all the glory. I like I said to Glenn Beck earlier, I don't care.
That's right. It was the Glenn Beck interview. So this was all the same day where she did like 3 different interviews from this office. That's when she like read the note like for the first time, and she's not on the note. Remember, like top priorities of Charlie. It's like everything but Erika. I thought that was interesting.
About the rest of the world's judgment. I don't. I have an audience of 2. That's my Lord, and that's Charlie.
I literally thought she was going to say her kids. Yeah. You really don't just have an audience of 2, even if it was your kids or was God and Charlie. Like your audience, like who we are is like the church, Christians around the country, where we're like, you aren't real.
I mentioned to you that I wanted to ask you how you were doing based on 2 specifics. One is the requirements of your job right now and all of these media appearances. But the other is that today, in just a couple of hours, Charlie's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, is going to make his first court appearance. How are you doing in the reality of that news?
You know what's so interesting, Will, is that what I have found throughout this whole process is how our school system has really failed to educate us on how an actual trial works.
Really?
We are so used to Law and Order shows that we think it will be solved in a half hour. That's not how this works. I personally am having our attorneys watch it. I have zero desire to look at that man on camera.
I thought you forgave him. Your attorneys aren't involved at all. Like, yeah, you are a victim because it was your spouse that was assassinated, but you're given the things that are like applicable to you. You got the autopsy because you're the surviving spouse. You're not getting any evidence. You're not getting briefed. Your TPUSA lawyers that were there with Justin Strife and Candace Owens said that. You're not getting anything we're not getting. So what are you talking about, you liar from Liar Town?
When the trial starts, it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, is it?
But right now, I guard my peace. I guard my heart and I guard my mind.
Oh.
I don't need to look at you.
Oh.
I have nothing to say to you.
Oh.
I know that this hearing is
doesn't sound like forgiveness to me. Yeah. Not to mention, you have no clue who actually killed Charlie, because the evidence actually is so stupid that everyone keeps claiming as a mountain of evidence that there's no way you could even be possibly remotely positive that Tyler had anything to do with it. That's why we're convinced you're in on it, man.
addressing having cameras in the courtroom. And I believe we strongly need to have cameras in the courtroom. And
now we know why the defense argued not because they were trying to, not let us in. It's because that Tyler Robinson from the very beginning was tried and executed before he even got a fair shake. That through public, the court of public opinion, all the different news medias, the president, everyone said he's guilty as sin. Actually, that was Blake. Blake and Andrew said guilty as sin. You said, I forgive you, which implies that you knew he was guilty. And everyone would just assume you would know because you're the wife. Trump says, yeah, this guy should get the death penalty. Governor Cox. Yeah. Everyone's already, except for the few of us, well, hopefully many more, but all of us that don't believe he did it. That's why they didn't want the freaking cameras in the courtroom.
I want people to be knowledgeable on the standpoint of this is a murder case. My husband was murdered. He did not die in a car accident. So what I would love is for people to read up a little bit more or have others out there who understand
you guys, she's saying you guys are stupid. Can you guys just read? Come on, you guys. Hey, stupid people. Can you guys just go open a book? Can you just educate yourselves on the court system? You guys are stupid.
Court system, explain it to us all. Because I had questions too. I remember asking my attorney, wait, hold on. You're telling me that we have to wait almost a full year?
That was her question. You guys, she didn't have a question as to like, okay, like, why did George Zinn drop his pants and say he did it? Okay. What happened to Lance Twiggs? Where is he? Okay. Well, why is there no exit wound? Why does it look like the person on the roof didn't have a rifle? Why does it look like in all those videos and those photos that you're saying are Tyler Robinson, they all look like different people? How is it that they swept for the rifle and didn't find it until the FBI showed up? How did the bomb sniffing dogs miss the rifle? Okay. No, she has no questions like that. Her question is, oh, we don't get to just have this court case like tomorrow and find him guilty and execute him like next week. We have to wait till 2027 to kill this guy. Gosh, what an inconvenience in my life.
For this court case, like that blows my mind. Even after you request a speedy trial, like we're not just sitting here not having questions. I question everything. I don't do it publicly. I don't need to have that on the airwaves. I don't find that necessary. I never did.
I mean, it would help. Like if you did some of these things publicly that you say you're doing, which you're not, because you'd be doing them publicly if you'd be questioning the official narrative and having any kind of issues like, okay, what about Joe Kent? What about those text messages Andrew sent Joe Kent? What about all the pressure that he was under? What about Philly? What about these other theories that seem like, yeah, why did his shirt move like that? Like, why did his necklace break? How is there no exit wound? A 30-06 can all of you security guys, you guys shoot guns a lot. I mean, shouldn't there be an exit wound? Yeah, there should. No questions. She's got no questions, you guys.
But I ask every day all different types of questions.
Name one.
Because I want nothing more than justice.
Can you name one question for us?
For my husband, for myself, and for my family, and for our whole team.
Erika, you famously and inspirationally at Charlie's Memorial forgave Tyler Robinson.
Will, you're a joke, bro. Like we freaking saw that and we were like, what the heck? That's disgusting. Okay. Presumption of innocence gone. The freaking grieving widow on a stage. 275,000 people were there. Millions were watching. Literally probably half of the freaking country, whether they were Republican or Democrat, were watching, right? Trump was there. JD Vance was there. Give me a break. She gets up there and says, I forgive him. That's disgusting. That poor young dude's presumption of innocence for most people disappeared at that moment.
Have you, or do you have a desire to ever meet or speak to Tyler Robinson?
I have no desire to meet that man. Why would I? Would you want to meet the assassin who murdered your wife?
Yes. Yes, I freaking would. Yes, 100%. Yes, maybe just to put my hands around his neck if I knew for a fact that he did the deed. But I mean, but for sure, I'd have questions, Erika. Your lack of curiosity is so bizarre. You have no questions, bro. Like, hey, yeah, I want to sit down with this guy. Who else helped you, dude? You're a 22-year-old kid. You pulled off this political assassination, our version of JFK. You basically got away with it. I mean, if you're believing that she believes the FedSlop narrative, right? All to throw it away by like self-incriminating yourself with all of these freaking text messages and discords and everything. Yeah, I'd have questions. The fact that you don't have questions is why we have questions about you.
I highly doubt it.
I don't know. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately for this conversation, I can't sit in your seat.
I pray. No, I pray you never do. I pray you never do. But I really do.
What I mean by that
is
I truly, Erika, this is my humility.
Who's she looking off to? You think Cabot Phillips is there? No, is JT Massey there? He's like, dude, like, yeah, somebody's there. Somebody's right over there. Or Greg Laurie, Frank Turek, Rob McCoy. Who do you guys think it is? Andrew Colvett? Mikey McCoy? The Miraculous? Somebody's there. She's looking at somebody.
To you.
It's not her kids. Remember, her kids can't come in there. They're not allowed in there somehow. But Gigi wanted the picture that she couldn't have asked for unless she was in there, but she's not in there. I don't know. Can't keep track of all the freaking lies.
Into your situation. I don't know. I can't. I'm
No,
never in that
no, I
seat.
truly, and I appreciate that honesty. I will tell you though that I don't. I have nothing to say to him.
Mm.
I don't. I have nothing to say to him.
Mm-mm.
Forgiveness is not a weakness.
Mm.
Do I forget what he did? No. Do I
Mhm.
let that absorb and consume me? No. But I have nothing to say to you.
Mhm.
You murdered my husband.
Mhm.
That is freaking bizarre. December, the first and second week of December is when this happened. She had this sit down with Candace in October, November timeframe. And Justin Strife and the lawyers that were there told Candace Owens that they know nothing more than what we know. And she can sit there and say definitively that Tyler Robinson murdered her husband. How is that not evil? How is that not evil?
I have to tell my daughter every day and explain to her why daddy's not coming home.
Why are you describing to a 3-year-old every day why her dad's not coming home? I mean,
Why am I going to waste my breath
Yeah.
talking to a man I have nothing to say to because words,
I guess
I'll guard my words.
that, the I don't know portion of
God.
where I sit today, which I'm very fortunate to
she just did the crazy eyes. Did you guys see it? She did the crazy eyes. I paused it on the wrong moment. Sorry.
sit in that position. I'm fortunate to not know. I
Yeah.
only know how others react, and there are some,
There they are.
I guess, maybe seeking understanding.
Bro, blink. Blink, Erika. You're freaking us out.
I've seen victims
There we
do
go.
that.
She blinked.
Maybe do you let's presume that's why they do. I don't know why they do, but some families do meet the people who perpetrate this horrible thing on their families. And I would assume it's for understanding. I don't know. I
It's
think
probably
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, Will. It's because most surviving family members want clarity as to why and how. Erika's not interested in either. Why? Because she already knows Tyler didn't do it, dude.
closure. I mean,
Closure.
everyone's different. I don't need closure. I don't need understanding.
That's insane. That's freaking insane. My husband was murdered. I don't need closure. I don't need understanding. That's stupid.
Evil's evil. I don't have any questions for him. I don't. I don't have any questions for his family. I don't. What this boils down to, honestly, is that he made a decision. One day, he decided.
Why is Will stroking that freaking mic? Like, homeboy, like, what are you doing with the mic? Stop petting the mic. It's really weird.
To let the smallest seed of evil in his heart. He decided
Listen, he stopped.
not to extinguish that evil. Instead, he decided to feed it. I don't need to ask him why he fed it.
You don't even know. You don't even know that he did anything. How can you even say that?
Evil is evil. So he kept feeding it to the point where he.
Did you guys hear the story about the wolf? Which wolf gets bigger? Yeah, the angry wolf or the good wolf. It's whichever one you feed more. My gosh, like you're telling a nursery rhyme.
Murders my husband. My husband challenged ideas. He had people come to the front of the line who did not agree with him. He would put the mic down and listen to what they had to say. And if people heckled them in the crowd, he would say, "You guys stop. This takes a lot. This takes a lot to come up to the front of the line and to the mic and to talk."
Yeah.
He would give them a chance. He would use his words for good. And he would put his mic down and let the other person talk.
Mm-hmm.
And instead,
This is where she doesn't know what to say. And she just she gets stuck. Yeah. And Will's like, bro, some of this is really bizarre. Are we live? We're airing this? Dang it. I knew we should have done a pre-take. Man, I mean, it's pretty raw. Like, this is not going to age well. I
I have nothing to say to them.
Yeah,
I
we
get it.
tell.
Their actions speak louder than their words ever could.
You said several things that I would love to follow up.
And this, you guys, hey, you guys, this person supposedly Charlie said is smarter than him, is better than him in every way. Oh, I thought, oh, Erika should be president someday. No, Erika is smarter than me. She's better than me in every way. Oh my gosh, Erika's just the best. Erika is a dud. She's a dud. What are you talking about? She can't even put it together. Bro, if we were watching Charlie's like, give me a break. Force-fed some imposter. That's what she is.
Up with, but I want to take now a minute to talk about the book, which I don't give gratuitous compliments. I mean it when I say this is a really good book and this is fascinating. The idea,
Erika, how would you know? How would you know it's powerful? You just, okay, so this interview's in December. You just did that ASU classroom talk where you're in the black and you had the hat and you were like, I chose not to read it on purpose because I knew once I did, I would never get to read it again for the first time. And so I'm waiting to do that. And here you are saying it's a powerful book and you're about to lie even more and said you read it. And in December is when you said you read it. But in January and February, you said you're waiting to read it. Which is it, Erika?
of the Sabbath, the idea of taking time away. And Charlie talks a lot in this book about the phone. I mean, just what that device in and of itself is. But then what you do with that time as well. And obviously, it's a lot about connecting and being present and connecting with God. I think a good way to do this might be, would you walk us through, you said a moment ago, it was Friday night to Saturday. So you guys did it together. Can you just walk me through what that was like? He turned his phone off.
Absolutely.
You turned yours off Friday night?
For sure. So I don't know if you're an athlete, but Charlie and I were both athletes. And for us, trigger words were really a thing, meaning psychologically, when you say something, you're committed to it. So for him, on Friday night, he'd come home. Kids would run up to him, drop his backpack. He'd grab him. He'd look at me, give me the biggest kiss and hug. And he would say, he'd pull up his phone like proudly, and he'd be like, turning off the phone, throw it in the junk drawer and say, Shabbat Shalom. And he was free. That was the first main distinction of my rest has started. And we'd have a home cooked meal. We'd go to my mom's, or we would stay at our house, be with the kids, or we would go on a date night. Charlie was huge on putting our marriage first because we came first. You put the marriage first, then the kids. And he knew how important that was. And we loved each other so much. And he was such a good husband to me. He served me so well because both of us had a servant's heart.
Dude, I don't get it, you guys. Like, I'm watching her say these things. They're just words on a freaking teleprompter. There is no genuine emotion connected to the things she's saying. It's not real. This lady is so fake. It's beyond obvious. I don't know how anyone can freaking watch this and go like, oh my gosh, she truly loved him. Look at her. I believe Charlie truly loved her, right? 100%. And look. Well, let's pause for a second. Where did I put it? Hold on. Refresh. Hopefully it doesn't mess up the stream. Don't go anywhere. Wait, where is it? It's on. There it is. All right. Let me make sure my internet browser didn't get messed up because I touched something from X and they don't like each other. All right. Look, you will never convince me ever that Charlie was a fake father, that he wasn't married for real to Erika, that he didn't have legitimate kids that he believed were his. Maybe we find out down the line that she wasn't faithful and one of them's JT Massey's and one of them's Cabot Phillips. I don't know. But for Charlie, he did not think that. Common Sense Show said supposedly Charlie was questioning paternity at the end, but then has produced no receipts for that. So, I mean, man, waiting for that. But watch this clip and you're going to tell me he's faking this. He faked that morning show when Gigi runs up to him and he grabs her and holds her. Get out of here. Get out of here. And you'll never convince me that he faked his death and that he's alive. Ever. Ever.
Very important. Sir Isaac Newton fell asleep underneath a tree. And then an apple hit him. Kind of like this. So then he came up with the 3 laws. Okay, see, that's the issue. Is you keep on thinking when you drop it, it comes back up, but it doesn't. Okay? The 3 laws of Newtonian physics. You're going to be quizzed on this later, you know. An object at rest will stay at rest. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For example, if I push it, it goes through. And finally, force equals mass times acceleration. Any questions?
That didn't sound like Erika in the background, you guys. I think that was Charlie's mom. It was an older lady sitting with him laughing in the background. I don't think that was Erika. I think that was Charlie's mom there. It's what it sounded like to me. I don't know if you guys could pick up on that. But that's a genuine person. That's a genuine father. That's an honest individual having an honest, like kind of funny interaction with his daughter, who is just not having it, just wants her sippy cup and wants her food or wants to leave. And he wanted to finish his little story and he couldn't even help but because she continued to scream at him that he had to like put the napkin over his mouth and turn and laugh. You're never going to convince me that he freaking faked that and that he faked everything. Get out of here. But I'm already convinced Erika's faked everything. So get out of here with that nonsense too.
I served him. He served me. It was never keeping score. It was never saying, oh, you came home late or you missed this or you missed that. We never.
Here's the other thing, dude. Total BS. Okay. What's the rule? First 5 years or 7 years of marriage, if you can make it past the 5th or 7th year, you've done a pretty good job. You might make it all the way, but the first 5 years, I forget, it's either 5 or 7 are some of the most difficult years in a marriage. Okay. She wants you to believe that she just like walked into this marriage after being a lady of the night. Okay. Living with men all over the world, being a pageant girl, getting all of this attention for her looks and for her sex appeal. And that she just walked into this very conservative Christian marriage where she was a stay-at-home mom, didn't have any control over money. Charlie said that in the interview with her, and she kind of like looked away. She didn't like that. But they never fought. That they never had any issues. He was on the road 320 something days a year. Yeah, I could see that if she didn't love him and she didn't miss him when he was gone and she didn't really enjoy his company and value his presence in the home, yeah, I could see that the money and the lifestyle is what she wanted. And she had that. And she had that almost as a single parent when he's gone 320 days a year. She had her cake and eat it too. She's married, has the last name, has the money, has the influence, has the house, has the cars, and husband's gone 320 days a year. The next best thing for Erika is him being gone permanently. And you'll never convince me otherwise. Hi, Blackliners. We need a group name. I think it is. It's called the Blackline Crew. Have you watched RPB and Zach? Can you summarize for my cheap self who's not a member? No, I'm not a member either. I'm waiting for Zach to update he's about to roll out a new members tier. I used to be a member for Barron's, but yeah, I'm not. So I don't know what's going on there. I'll touch base with Zach later maybe I can give you guys a rundown tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. Ashley, be true. All right, let's keep going.
Did that. We were on the same team, always same mission. And so when he came home and that phone was off, there would be times, I'm not going to lie, on Saturday when it's college football season and the Ducks are on, we would have the Ducks on.
Okay.
That would be the one time that we would have some form of screen time, but Charlie needed rest, and for him, that was an outlet. He used to say that if he wasn't in politics, he wanted to be a college football coach. That
I've seen
was
the videos.
like his thing.
They're amazing.
I know.
The videos are amazing. By the way,
He was a phenomenal quarterback. He had a great arm.
Yes.
And so for us, it was just being family time. And then he would find moments once the kids were napping, or if we were doing different things, and he would work into his schedule. Okay, now I'm going to go sit and be alone with the Lord, or I'm going to write. He would journal all the time. And he gave himself that peace of knowing, like, if I want to be the man that God needs me to be, and I'm going to step up, I need to give God time to allow for that to happen, to soften my heart, to read, to become a thought leader. My husband wasn't a mudslinger. He was a thought leader. He didn't get boggled down into drama. He didn't get boggled down in calling people names. He didn't do any infighting. He was a peacemaker. He was a bridge builder, and he was very intentional with his time. And he knew that with his time, he would rather build than tear down. And so in order to be able to continue to build, he needed to take a rest and let the Lord be able to pour into him. And that's what he did.
So it was Friday night through Saturday. And I'm really fascinated, Erika, by logistics. Now, you and I are in different phases of life. Your kids are really young. Mine are older. Yeah. I have teenage boys, but Charlie addresses all of this, by the way, in the book. He addresses.
She says he does. She hasn't read the book. She hasn't read the book. Or she has read it and then she lied about not reading it. Freaking A.
That everybody thinks they're too busy. And he's pretty humble about it. He's like, no disrespect, I'm a really busy person. I have a 3-hour show every day. I raise money for a $100 million organization. I have 300 employees. He's like, I get it. I get busy, but you can do this. And his argument in the book is you'll be better on the back end because of it. You'll be better, healthier, spiritually, mentally, physically, and more productive on the back end of it. But I want to ask you about logistics for a minute, because he brings up something this is a big deal to my family. It's kids' sports. Erika, it takes up a ton of time. Now, again, your kids are younger. But I was literally reading the book and I was like, okay. And Charlie says, go to your kid's game. Just be present. Yeah. Don't scroll your phone, during the game or during warmups. Just be present. But this is my thing, Eric. And I know you said don't be legalistic about it. I'm like, but I use my phone for directions to the game. I coordinate with my wife on the phone. Are we going to meet there? I use it to check the app to see what field we're on. I'm like, I use it all the time. So even if I'm present in this, how can I not have my phone?
No, I get it. But here, be creative with me for a second.
Okay.
Let's pretend we're in like the early 90s.
Yes.
Like Magellan style.
I lived then. Right. Yes, we pulled it off.
You print out MapQuest.
Yes.
Charlie actually.
No, you use a Thomas guide. You used to use a Thomas guide before there was MapQuest, Erika. I did construction, so I remember those days. Erika, you haven't read the book and you're telling everyone what to do. You're saying even now when he asks you, do you keep a Sabbath now? You said, no, I turn off my phone for a few hours a day, and you're giving them advice on how to actually keep a Sabbath, but you're not keeping a Sabbath. So that's freaking bizarre.
He loved challenging his brain with maps. I'm not even kidding. At night, he would sometimes look at maps on his phone and be like, baby, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just looking at some maps here. And I'm like, what are you looking for? He's like, no, it's just really, cathartic. I'm just like looking at the different routes and stuff. It would be either for hiking or for road maps, because
he didn't drive. He didn't drive himself. What are you talking about? He had a private driver, private security guard. He was always with people. He was never alone going anywhere by himself. I could believe that if he wanted to go trail running, he'd look up like hiking trails. That's not the same as like looking at a freaking map.
Let me challenge you this way. Communicate with your spouse that at this time and this time, that is where you'll be. I'm not saying
Here
like,
I am,
God forbid
Erika.
there's
I'm older than you. I actually did this. It's not theoretical for me. And now here you're giving me the advice on the thing that I traveled Europe without a phone. I had the physical
No,
map.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Go back to that. But also too, I'm not saying like if there was
That's the other thing. So in the interview, he's like, he has a moment where he has to like be honest. He's like, why is this child telling me how to be a good parent and a good husband and a good adult? What makes this young thing qualified to be giving anyone advice? She was married for 3 years. That's it.
life or death, like please use your phone. I'm not saying like don't be legalistic, but make it kind of creative where it's like, okay, it's 9:05. I'm still waiting. And then they show up at 9:07 and you're like, well, you said 9:05.
So I didn't have
mean,
to send a "Where are you" text.
Right. But no, but just it would be kind of fun to try it out and then get your kids involved. Give them a printout of MapQuest. I don't even know if MapQuest is still alive. Okay, Google Maps. Give them the printout and say, all right, son, daughter, whatever, you get to tell me when to turn left.
Did somebody say that when they're talking about a website? Still alive? It's just weird. She has a bazillion Freudian slips, and it's just to me like the things that just pop through this Mortal Kombat Ultra brain of hers.
Left. I don't know. Make it fun.
Well, did the whole family do the Sabbath together? Did you and Charlie sound like you did? And again, your kids are young, but we all know the whole iPad thing and the distraction thing. And
we don't do iPads.
Okay, so
that's such a lie. Like a leapfrog, like some sort of device. Like you guys supposedly traveled in planes. In planes, you told a story about your child flipping out in a plane, right? Or Usha told the story, and then you retold the story, and you said you understood as if you'd ever flown in a freaking, not private jet with us humble servants. You're telling me you're on road trips, okay? Your kids don't have any kind of technological device that you could put like safe parent controls on. No. You are literally selling yourself as this perfect image of something that's so unrealistic. It just is stupid. It's just stupid. Like we didn't give our kids technology, like, just like, here you go entertain yourself, but you definitely have it for when you need it.
So your kids are always on the Sabbath. But you guys did it together. You did this together as a family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We did. There were times truly where if things were, I don't know, for example, I'm trying to think of an event or something. I don't know, but I'll just throw out an example. If there was an event or something, and Charlie really was waiting to hear back from someone that said, I can only give you an answer tomorrow at this time, there would be a moment where, I would keep my phone on and say, okay, don't text it, but call me, make a physical phone call to me. And that's different. I'm not sitting on social media. I don't even have social media on my phone. He didn't either.
Rewind. How could she have posted the picture of her and her mom in the hospital, well, in the IV clinic or whatever it was for her Lyme disease, which was posted from her personal account? If she doesn't have, she said social media, period. She didn't specify like, no, I don't have Instagram. No, I don't have Snapchat. No, I don't have X. I only have Facebook. She said no social media. I don't have any social media. Okay. Well, the picture of her mom was taken with a phone. It wasn't taken with a freaking computer. It wasn't taken with a Canon EOS T2i or whatever. Dude, it was taken with a phone. You posted it on, I think, Facebook. You have social media, Erika. Literally on the 9th. That was on the 9th when she posted that. So yeah, she has social media.
There's again, it's not to be legalistic, But it's like Charlie said, be present, be intentional with your time.
Right.
You don't have to make it fun. Like, this is not supposed to be,
Sacrifice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it puts into perspective. Like, if you say, I don't have time, you're really saying, I don't have time for God. But what do you have time for? You have time for the idols. You have time for social media. You have time for whatever else. But by you saying, no, I'm not going to take a rest. Like, okay, well, you're the one who's missing out on the gift and benefit of that, not God.
Erika, did you not remember the beginning of this interview? He asked if you're keeping a Sabbath and you said no. You said no. You said, like, I try to take like little mini Sabbaths throughout the day, like an hour here, an hour there. That's not the same thing. And now you're saying that the things that keep people from taking their Sabbath this way, the right way, are their idols, are the things that they can't give up. So what, your job, your career, the money, the power, the fame, the fortune. So what's standing in your way right now? Why aren't you doing a Sabbath right now, Erika?
Well, look, the Bible is an accumulation of thousands of years worth of wisdom, and the wisdom is derived through human trial and error and the law of God. And the idea of taking a rest isn't just something plucked out of the sky, some random rule. It's wisdom. And I think he lays out both that history, the biblical foundation of that wisdom, and then the benefits of it. He lays it out really, really well in this book. By the way, Charlie didn't have social media on his phone.
No.
How do you tweet all the time?
He eventually took X off of his phone when it was still Twitter. Gosh, the team would know the exact day and the exact month. But he realized that
he never circles back. How did he post to all of his different social media accounts? Well, we know like Mikey, right, was doing a lot of it, but I mean, that still would have been his account. That would have been like his work phone. Can anything you say be honest and true, Erika?
He would just aimlessly, and I watched him do it a few times. I know all of us are guilty of this. You literally open an app, you get out of it, you go through three other apps,
yes,
but you go through three other apps, and within seconds, go to your text, and then you go back to the app that you had just opened.
Yes,
and you're like, what's new? You're getting a dopamine rush. The problem is you're trying to get a fill of a dopamine rush that the Lord has put in you that only the Lord can fulfill. So,
Erika, you're not a licensed psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, doctor, anything. What are you doing? Please stop. We're tired of your advice.
So if you're trying to get that dopamine fix from a black screen, you're not going to get it. And that's why God is like, okay, just rest. No, we don't. I don't need to know the opinions of the world on my phone. If this is a new phone and a new phone number, the other phone and phone number is a black hole. But this one, like, if you have this number, it's because you're pretty much going to call me. I don't get too many text messages on it, but there's no reason why I don't need to be going down the bowels of Instagram to see all the fun chatter online.
Okay. Okay. Let me just say this, because I am going to follow up on that now. I do want to say this with all genuineness. I do think the audience should check this book out. I do think it's a great read. It's an easy read, by the way.
It's beautiful.
And
she doesn't know.
I do think it'll make you better. I'm going to try it, Erika. How about that as an endorsement? I am going to try
I love it.
Erika, how about you try it first? You do it. You read the book first, then start taking a Sabbath. Then go on the book tour and tell everyone to do the thing that you've already done.
You should, and start small.
I also like Saturday. I like Saturday as the day.
You can choose any day.
I know Charlie said that. It doesn't have to be any particular day. It's about the rhythm of 6 on, 1 off.
Not 2 hours.
But I do like the Friday night to Saturday things you guys did. I am going to try. I am.
You should.
And I say that with humility. You hear the word try.
You'll become a better husband, and your wife will become a better wife, and your marriage will flourish. Charlie viewed it as almost like the big secret.
Yeah.
And he wanted everyone to be in on it.
It gets better.
Okay. I do want to ask you about this, Erika. You did mention the rabbit holes. You did mention the chatter. You're very aware. That's very clear. And yesterday on Fox with Harris Faulkner, you began to address this. You probably have a few other times as well. But it's the conspiracies around Charlie's death. And,
you see her demeanor changed?
When this first happened, you know that I do this every day for a living, and you're a part of this. Most of the ugliness and everything was coming from a predictable direction, the left. Now
Mhm.
it's on the right. It's everywhere.
Mhm.
And let me start here. You felt, I know you were asked, but you felt that now was your time to address it. Why?
Well, like I said earlier, I just want a very peaceful Christmas. I want my team to have a peaceful Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and mudsling. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to call names. I'm not. I'm not going to insult. Everyone's loved my husband, and we're all trying to figure out.
No, you're just paying other people to do that for you. Gary Milton. Lisa knows.
What happened. I have a little bit more insight because I'm a victim.
Uh-huh.
So I get to see the autopsy report.
That's it.
I get to see all of the files that our prosecution, has pulled together.
No, it's not our prosecution. The state of Utah is against Tyler Robinson, not TPUSA, not on behalf of Erika Kirk, not on behalf of TPUSA. Your TPUSA lawyers are not communicating with the prosecution. That's not how it works, Erika. And you know that. You sat in the Candace Owens meeting with Justin Strife and your lawyers, and they said that in front of you. What are you talking about? You're a liar. You don't know anything we don't know. They're not telling you jack. You got to see the autopsy, and you should have released that. And Brian Harpole said he wanted that to be released because supposedly it exonerates him and his team. Where's the autopsy? Someone mentioned that today. We don't have a cause of death. We don't know. We don't know what killed Charlie still.
Trust that case. And so while
That's the case.
everyone's trying to find the ultimate explanation.
No, we're trying to find the real killer, something you should be doing. You should be doing this. The fact that you're not is one of many, many reasons why we think you are guilty.
Of digging deeper and digging deeper, that's one thing. You know, if you want to dig into his Discord chats or whatever that guy was involved in.
You guys, check it out. She's okay with us asking questions and digging into, as long as it's the Fed slop narrative, like in support of it. Like, how did he make, like, oh, who did he say the things to? Not are they true? Not did he send them? Like, she's okay with us asking certain questions, not any question. The questions she wants, that's okay. Nothing else.
I don't care. Have a heyday with that.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. I'm not telling you to not ask questions.
Yeah, you are.
I just told you this. I ask questions literally daily.
Yes.
You asked, why isn't the trial happening sooner? Okay.
That's not what this is about. What this is about is the accusations that somehow Turning Point USA, my husband's team,
Yep.
my husband's security team,
Definitely.
my husband's friends,
Yep.
my husband's employees
No.
are
No. No one accused his employees, just those like his somewhat like co-workers, right? Like Blake Neff, Mikey McCoy, Tyler Boyer, Andrew Colvett, you, and then the security team. And Frank Turek,
somehow, and myself
Yes, you.
are somehow implicated in his murder.
Yes.
That is a totally different line.
Yeah, that's what you're not okay with. We can ask any questions as long as we don't ask the questions that are looking into you and everyone around you. Okay. Those are just the questions we have, though. I mean, we don't have any other
Totally
questions.
different line. So, of course, I am going to stand up for that.
Yeah.
That's a line in the sand.
Yep.
Because anyone who knew Charlie and knows us,
Yeah.
that's sick.
It's sick.
It's sick. But if you want
You're
to
sick. You're just sick.
go after
Tyler, go after Tyler.
whatever you want to go after
go-
down that way
Yeah, that way.
of great.
Yeah, great.
But don't accuse us.
No, not us.
Don't overanalyze. Like, honestly, Will,
look at me.
I have no idea how I would have reacted that day if I was there and I saw my husband be murdered.
You're a moron. You literally, I think, are stupid. If I witnessed my wife's assassination in front of me, I know exactly what I would do. I would freak out, and then I would be trying to rip people's head off, you know? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So how are you going to hyperanalyze those people that love my husband that were with him that second, thinking that their reaction meant somehow
They loved your husband in the same way you love money. Maybe that's not the right analogy. Yeah. They didn't love your husband, dude. Like, knock it off.
they were involved in it? This is a one of one where social media has just had a heyday.
Oh, hey,
tearing things apart. And what's so sad
Mm.
is that I know all of those people
Yeah.
that were there that day.
Yep.
And I know all of the people who are impacted by this that are within our close orbit.
Mhm.
And it is painful to see on their face
Is it?
how exhausted they are
Why?
to have to relive the trauma every single day.
Why do they have to relive the trauma? Blake Neff and Andrew Colvin get up on the show like every day and talk about it. No one's telling them to retell the story. Frank Turek decides to retell the freaking story every time he does a campus college event. He literally opens every event up now with the story. Nobody's asking him a question. That's him just talking about it. Jack Posobiec, Blake, no one's forcing you guys to relive this. You guys are willing to do that every day.
That's not fair. We
How do
are
they-
not robots.
How do they consume it, Erica? How does it, I mean, social media, how is it
Yes.
getting to you?
No,
Like,
no,
I know you
no,
said
no,
the
no, no.
chatter.
Well, the team tells me. I mean, I do not watch one thing. The team tells me if there's anything I need to know. I mean, honestly,
Right.
I say, unless I really need to know, tell me. But if I don't, please, I don't need to hear it. But that's, we
So
try to
they come
guard
in,
it that
Erica,
way.
and
But
they're like, they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's happening.
not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like, hey, did you know that
Why was that funny? Why is someone calling her, telling her what Candace Owens or Baron Coleman or Ian Carroll or whoever it is, Wolves and Finance, whatever, is saying about her and TPUSA? Why is that something she laughs about when she retells that story?
somehow you're involved with Romanian orphans being sex trafficked? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
She can't even act like, man, I can't think of the word. Well, like I can't think of the word right now, but like that reaction, like, can you believe this? Like they're saying that I was involved with the Romanian angels and the children. It's like, yeah, I mean, because you were.
it becomes laughable at some point. I mean, again, we have been lied to
By
over
you?
and over again.
Yeah.
So there is a baseline of understanding of, okay, we're trying to seek the truth. I get that. Again, I'm not saying don't ask questions, but when you turn questions into accusations and you don't have proof and you're leaving things open-ended as if our team or someone involved with our team is involved in it, and then you sit there and hyperanalyze my body movements,
Yeah.
my tears, my frowns, my voice inflection, my faith, if it's not real.
Lack of faith, not faith, fake faith, hijacked faith.
Or if it is real.
It's not.
I'm not going to waste my time with that. I have
You're building Hezekiah. Okay, we get it. You're too busy doing everything else.
nothing to prove to you.
Where do you think
When
it's
you
coming
know
from,
the
Erica?
truth, I beg your pardon?
Where do you think it's coming from? Like, what's the motivation?
Sick.
That's for each individual person. Everyone has their own motive. I'm not going to assume what those motives are.
No.
Some, it might be, honestly, grief is weird. Everyone grieves differently.
She had to add that in. Yeah, you grieve hella weird. That's for sure. Like no one I've ever seen before.
It's not linear.
No.
Comes in waves.
Oh.
Everyone has their own personal relationship with Charlie in a way where even if you didn't even meet him, you have a personal relationship with him.
I agree with that.
because you watched his videos or you went to a campus event. Then you get to the next tier where you actually did meet him. That's another personal layer. Then you get to the next tier where you were actually a friend.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to sit here and question or hyperanalyze what someone's motives is. That's in their own heart, and that's what they have to deal with responding to the Lord. That I'm not going to go. You have to put your head down on your pillow at night, and whatever your decision is, that was your decision. What I do ask, though, is that you keep in mind, again, there is a difference between questions and accusations. And if you have accusations and you are going to go down that rabbit hole, provide proof.
You need proof.
I don't care if you're
Except for we can accuse Tyler Robinson without any proof, and that's okay.
a journalist or someone on X. If you say accusations, provide proof.
Okay.
You can't just throw stuff out there and then all of a sudden everyone thinks that somehow that's truth. It's not.
It is.
And it's very hard to prove a negative. So if you say, well, I don't believe what they're saying, even though they're telling you the truth, well, how is the truth going to set you free if you don't believe the truth? So now you're just talking in circles. My only prayer for all of this is that all of us can remember that Charlie was a thought leader.
Yeah.
He would not want his life and his legacy to revolve around his murder. He would want his life and legacy to revolve around helping deliver the youth vote.
Yeah. So she's saying, everyone move on. Stop talking about his murder. Charlie wouldn't want it. You guys, stop asking questions about that day. Stop watching the videos. Stop analyzing us. Charlie wouldn't want that. He would want you guys to focus on this amazing new organization, TPUSA 2.0. Help us get our merch sales up. We have some new hats. There's one on the shelf behind me. Come on, guys. That's what Charlie would want. He wrote it in the journal. I have it right here. I'm not going to show you, though.
Helping to build Turning Point USA, helping to make a difference on college campuses.
Yes.
That is what I pray we focus on.
Yes.
The justice will be served, and trust me, it will. And again, you can have questions.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm going to ask you one.
Honor my husband.
You can have questions, just not questions about me.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you one last question on this.
Oh, okay.
And I want you to know, and I want everybody listening to know, I'm trying to ask you about this in the most respectful manner, acknowledging.
Oh, I know.
But I want you everybody to know this is the juggle. And it's not woe is me. It's like, I don't want you to have to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. I also don't want to be juvenile. So the juvenile part of this is the prurient digging in. And it's also doing something that I've done so far in this interview, which I haven't mentioned Candace Owens. I just didn't mention her name. And I didn't do that because I don't want to force you to talk about it if you don't want to. But everyone listening knows. And so after a while, I'm like, well, don't be juvenile. Everybody knows what you're talking about. And I'll be up front. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know everything. I don't know all the accusations. It's impossible. It's impossible to keep up with.
Yeah.
You do know, Erika. Blake Neff did a whole episode talking about everything and then saying you guys were going to freaking have a sit down with her and like debate it out. And then you took that away and then you went and sat down with her. You know everything she's saying. You're lying once again.
So in a lot of ways, I guess I am asking about something that we're not addressing. And I don't think that's fair to the audience. I'm going to ask you this last question on this. And what I'm going to say is, you have made a choice that has changed in the last week. Your team has been talking, and you have also said that a bridge has been crossed, talking about people that you know. What I'm curious about, Erika, is going forward, will you and the team, do you think you will talk about it more? Do you think you will address all of the stuff? Because to your point, you said it, and I feel it. It's growing. It's not going away.
It's not.
The chatter, the theories, it's growing.
Yep.
It's not going away.
Not.
So how do you think you'll address that going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. The chatter will always be there.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay.
Well, if we spent all of our time going through every single accusation, we'd get nothing done at the office.
Well, that's not true. You could just go over the accusations just from Candace and Barron. Just focus on those two. That's all most of us care about. Yes, there's other people making accusations out there. That's fine. How about you just focus on those two for now? Well, no, and Blake. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave Blake out of this. Yes, because we want to know about the security team. So how about you focus on those three?
Nothing. We were told that if we said stop,
Oh, here it
they
is.
would stop.
Oh, yeah.
And we said stop.
Oh, you did.
And I'll say it again.
Oh,
Please stop.
oh. That's it.
That's it.
We'll see if it's listened to.
She literally did it again. That's it. Just stop.
Erika, this has been a pleasure.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Bye. Next one. Moving on. All right. Ready? And then I'll reach out to the guest and see if they're almost ready.
So, Blake, this is I think the moment everybody's been waiting for today. And that's because, of course, we have Erika Kirk on the show. She is joining us remote because she has a busy, busy day. But Erika, if you can hear us, welcome to the Charlie Kirk Show.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Slight delay, but we can hear you.
Hi. Oh, delays. Those are to be expected.
Well, today is the book launch of Charlie's book, his final book, Stop in the Name of God. And here's this beautiful artwork. Yes. And Erika, you and Charlie and your beautiful daughter are on the back. And it's just a beautiful book. I've been voraciously reading it. It is a wonderful personal tribute and such an important message. Tell us about it.
It is a book that my husband, as you know, Andrew, he was writing this for what, 1.5 years,
Mhm.
and he finished it in July. And I'll never forget him coming downstairs and he was like, I finished it. I finally finished it. I was like, baby, I'm so proud of you. And he was like, you know, if this only changes just one person's life, at least it changes just that one. He's like, but honestly, I have to tell.
Hold on. We're going to watch this, but I just saw this pop up and I don't know. I haven't seen this, so I want to see it and let's watch it together
Because
first
it
time.
frees
Hold on.
you.
Where's the volume? Volume up. Is the volume up? Is it up? Volume's up. All right. Am I sharing it to the screen? I am. All right. Let's get it.
But it's freeing.
It is free.
It is
it
freeing
is free.
when you can say, I pray for them, even though they hate me. I pray for them because it frees you from, like you said, Pastor James, that poison.
That's right.
And it frees you from that hold that they could have on your heart because you won't let them break you.
That's
You
right.
won't let the
Yep.
world break
That's
you.
right. That's right.
And it's even personal for me. I
That's
have
right. No, that's
2
right.
children to raise. I have an organization to run. I have students counting on me to show up. And that is where my energy goes.
That's right.
Every single day, that's where my energy goes. And, you know, and Pastor James, you know this too, at a micro level, you know, we see it. We live in an attention economy where it's designed to keep people angry and it's designed to keep people divided and continuing to scroll
That's
and
right.
to get their clicks. And a solved problem on the internet or wherever does not drive engagement. And a resolved grievance does not generate clicks.
Mhm.
So some people, you know, have made a very deliberate choice to live their life that way.
Mhm.
And you,
Mhm.
Pastor James, and all the other people that are
Mhm.
inside of Bible in 365, that is their business. That's not ours. Our
Mhm.
business is of
Yep.
the Lord.
Mhm.
And every single day, no matter how much you talk about us, that's your business. Our business is the Lord's, and we will just pray for them and keep moving and keep building.
Mhm.
That is our business.
That's right.
Our business is kingdom business. Everything else is of the world.
It's about our Father's business.
Amen.
No. Nice try. Because the questions, the criticism, the critique that we have, it's about Charlie. It's about his life and it's about his death. It's about the year and the months leading up to his assassination, everything that was going on in his life, what happened in just like the weeks before his assassination, and then what happened on that day, and then everything that's happened since September 10th. That's the criticisms. That's the questions that we have for you. We're not attacking you personally. All of our issues with you is you lying, pretending like you're something you're not, selling this image to everyone as if you always were this like perfect thing, this Christian image of a conservative woman. You lied. You were on record with Charlie saying like your role is at home with the children. Here you are, boss babe 101. Yeah, our questions and issues are with your dishonesty, and everyone at TPUSA. We deserve an answer for that, because Charlie meant that much to all of us, and we meant that much to him, that we deserve an answer for this.
Tell you this, watching him live this out in real time changed his life, totally elevated him. I mean, he was already elevated, but it was the next level. It was amazing. I mean, yes, my husband was amazing to begin with, but this really took it to the next level.
Why don't you do it then?
Yeah, well, and I can just tell you, and Blake probably saw this as well. So this is a little funny story. So Charlie loved to work. He loved working.
Which is good because he got to do it all the time.
Yeah, he really loved working. And I remember when I first started working with Charlie, it was kind of just like 24/7, and he was always good natured about it, always upbeat. He loved it. And I remember my wife was like, "Hey, are we ever going to have any, time downtime? Yeah, like how about a weekend, husband?" Right. And I was like, "Yeah, we will. I'll talk to her." Well,
it's funny. So Erica's laughing about that, not because she shared in the sentiment that Andrew's wife supposedly said, like as if she wanted Andrew around more. Maybe. I don't know who she is. But Erika Kirk sure as heck didn't want Charlie around more. That was her ideal life. Her ideal life is Charlie on the road 320. And now her ideal life is him gone completely. And I'm not saying that because I'm some jerk or, that's just like a fact. Look at her from the moment he was stolen from all of us. And this woman became like this happy, like light as a feather, free as a bird. It's insane. Never saw her grieve. Not once.
Then along comes Erika. Now you guys have a family, and Charlie starts getting really into this idea of how to rest well. And I could just tell you that not only did I see take Charlie to the next level, but it also allowed everybody else to kind of go to the next level too, because our lives and everybody that he was leading, their lives became more in balance too. It was an amazing transformation.
Hey, will you guys do me a favor real quick? We got 500 and something people here, 274 likes. Will you guys just real quick, just hit the like before you guys forget? I really appreciate it. Thanks.
For the entire team.
It was, and not even so much from just a productivity level, but Andrew and Blake, you guys both know this. The whole team knows this. Being in politics and just in a total echo chamber, and then also just dealing with real world issues, and then also just dealing with even personal life issues, all of those three combined become this absolute trifecta of this weight on you where you're just like, can I just have a second to breathe? I just need a second to breathe. And that's what this is. It has nothing to do with running away. It has nothing to do with it's literally taking a pause so you can lay out and map out, okay, pause the noise for a second, just stop the noise for a second. What truly matters? Have people pour into you, have some alone time with the Lord, spend some time with your family, have a beautiful meal with your family on whatever day you choose to do this. It does not have to be a Friday.
But it has to be a day. Right? It has to be a day. It can't be an hour or two. It has to be a day, right? That is what it says in the book that you haven't read and don't know.
Does not have to be a Sunday. It doesn't even have to be a Wednesday. You can choose. That's what's so beautiful. Charlie was not legalistic about the Sabbath. He was saying, please just take the time to just set aside to be alone with the Lord, to be able to pray, to be able to just even journal. Charlie loved to journal. He left hundreds of his journals. And that to him was just so cathartic to be able to.
That we'll never see. And supposedly they just said they released all of the videos. They uploaded them somewhere. I asked Andrew, where are they? Where did you upload them?
Just write out what he was.
Bet you they're behind a paywall. Bet you they're behind a paywall.
Grateful for.
even just, I don't know, when he would go for a walk.
For all of his fans and supporters and followers that used to watch him every day on YouTube for free, now you can watch him for the small price of, pick your number. What do you think TPUSA is going to charge for everyone to have to be able to see Charlie? They're for sure putting it behind a paywall, guys. They're not going to. No, that's money on the table.
And he would have ideas that came to him for his show. He just really took the time to think, you know what? This worked for me because it helped me from burning out. And that was a superpower for him. People would say, how do you do this? How do you operate? And he would always say, he would get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night if he could when he was at home. But not only that, he made sure that if he kept this pace and rhythm of
That's weird though. So he used to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night when he was at home. But the night before his assassination, he was up late. He was restless. You said his adrenal glands were firing. He was worked up. You said he was like really excited. I think he was freaking scared for his life. He was anxious, terrified, frantic, sending out that text. They are going to take me out. They're going to kill me tomorrow. He woke up at like 3 a.m., showered, left everything how it was on the floor, grabbed his necklace and his wedding ring and left. So he was probably operating on less than 5 hours of sleep the night before his assassination.
giving himself a break, he wouldn't burn out like many other people because they thought it was cool to pull all-nighters. Actually, it's not, and it's not good for your brain health either, but he felt like he found the ultimate secret and the ultimate hack as an entrepreneur and wanted everyone else to be in on that.
Can I just read this section that hit me so hard last night as I was reading this book?
So Andrew's read it. The guy that we just watched read it. And Erika's like, yeah. But Erika hasn't read it. Okay.
He says,
it's such a good book, Andrew.
That's so weird, Erika. It is so weird because this one's older. This is all during the time when the book came out. But we know that her talking inside of that classroom was just recently. I'll try to find it.
Good. So good. It's like so good.
It's so good.
I think there's just something about, God has a plan. You just sometimes have to, you have to
but
trust.
the depth and level of the theology in here is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
he really
unbelievable.
I'm telling you, resting for Charlie took him to the next level. And here's what he said. To stop utterly, decisively, rhythmically is perhaps the most radical command God ever gave humanity. In a world governed by unrelenting drive, by the mantras of faster, harder, and more, the divine voice says something astonishing. Stop. In his name, cease. Cease striving, cease earning, cease proving, cease buying and selling and producing. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine imperative. What did you notice when Charlie really put this into practice? Because I have my own stories, but what did you see in Charlie?
He was already an amazing husband to me, but our love for one another just amplified. Him and his role as a father amplified.
Hey, one of you guys that have my email, you guys know it. You know, the clip I'm talking about, it was her in a classroom. She's wearing like black and a black hat. It's like someone filming with their phone, like under the table, you know, and she's talking to them. It's when it's when the Un-F America tour thing got canceled. She's talking about that, but then she starts talking about the book because someone asked her a question about the book. If you could find that, send it to me real quick. That'd be great. Just we can like play that after watching her say this.
He was so intentional with his time to begin with. I mean, he had it down to a millisecond. You guys know that. But Charlie was so good about making sure that his priorities remained his priorities. And even just hearing you read those words, Andrew, like, I have to tell you, like, I hear my husband's voice and spirit so much in this book. Like I said this morning when we were having an interview earlier about this, he feels so
alive with me still when I read these pages because I feel like he's addressing it to me personally. And again, he made sure that when he
Where
took
is
the
it?
time to rest
Weird.
and go for a hike or spend some time with the kids or just be able to show the world, the rest of the world, yes, I'm Charlie Kirk. Yes, I have these organizations. Yes, I have my show. But what's the most important to me is God and my family. You guys can wait 24 hours. If it's an emergency, you know how to get a hold of me, but you can wait. And that's so special.
Yeah, he was so intentional. And by the way, what you could see from what I just read, Blake, how serious Charlie took this.
Yes.
It was
Amen.
very, very serious to Charlie. And we would all get the notes like, "Hey,
Mhm.
see you later.
No,
I'm off."
Not even that. It was always, I always knew
I
it was
know.
coming around the same time. Shabbat Shalom!
Yeah.
Exclamation point. I can
Shabbat
search it in
Shalom.
our
I know.
Telegram. Always the same
Yeah.
one. And I'm like, I would sometimes be working on stuff. I wanted Charlie to see something right before, and it would come through. I'm like, it's done. Not getting a response
know
to
what,
that one
though?
until Sunday.
We still got everything done. That's
did.
the key. As a matter of fact, I think
Mhm.
you
I
get
know.
more done in 6 days with rest than you do with 7 days with no rest. And that's
You do.
that's
do.
the breakthrough.
Every college student knows.
You do. And
that.
another thing too is that Charlie made sure that this wasn't a legalistic thing. It didn't matter if you were Jewish, Christian, non-observing citizen. That had nothing to do with it. Actually really doesn't. What it boils down to is that you are taking the time to really use your time wisely. Charlie was only alive for 31 years.
Yeah, we
That
know,
sucks.
Erica.
It just does.
Oh, there we go. I
Your
found
life
it.
is so short. We have no idea how long we'll be here. We have no tell us if we should or should not.
Here's where I stand and where the MAGA base stand.
Oh,
and that it
no.
can
This is
found.
no, when it-
I'm massive, mountainous. It makes Afghanistan and Iraq look like a cakewalk.
Where is the part?
You know what? Well, little brother that died.
Man, I thought this was it. I'm so sorry. That's the one though. It's her in this classroom where she's wearing the black hat. That's the one I'm looking for.
No idea our expiration date and when we'll be in heaven with the Lord. But what we do know is that we have a choice. Every day we can decide to take the time that we're given to do something amazing, to go out and make a difference, to go and empower people, to serve people, or you can use that to be destructive. You have an option. Charlie knew that if he took the time to
All right,
have a moment.
I knew it was in my history.
If we should or should not. Yeah, no, to answer your question, my husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran. I would love for him to be here right now and tell us if we should or should not. I would love it. I miss his voice more than anyone in this world. And, you know, it's frustrating when you have people speaking for him. I think I have a sentiment for that. But thank the good Lord that we have a bunch of his videos that we can look back on. And it's like chapters like this, I have to commend you. This is amazing. All of you guys sitting here together having debate, discourse, dialogue, that's what Turning Point USA is about. And that's what—
Dang it, it's when she's standing up. It's all right. I don't mean to jump you guys around.
To breathe, to strategize, to create solutions instead of problems. He knew how important that time was. And if he didn't have the time to give his brain the space to do that, he wouldn't be able to be an effective leader like he was and still is. He's just in a different location.
Well said. We're going to continue on with the great Erika Kirk. Again, the book is Stop in the Name of God. Erika is promoting it on Charlie's behalf in his stead, and she's doing a phenomenal job. She has a very busy day. So thank you for joining us, Erika. We'll be right back in just 1 second with Erika Kirk. But first up,
I think that's actually it, because I think they go away. I don't think she comes back. Yeah.
so check them out. Patriot Mobile.
No, she doesn't come back. All right, hold on. Let's see. We got Crystal Smallin 5279 gifted 5 the Black Line Brief memberships. That is actually a very good gift to be giving today. Well, any day, but specifically today, because we will be doing a member live here either tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be good too. And then it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday next week for Zach Costello, Blake Bednards, John Bray, and myself. And I think it'll be at like 5 or 6 p.m. on Tuesday or Wednesday. So that's the time frame. You guys won't want to miss that. If you guys have, I'm not getting off yet because I still have the special guest that's coming on. Oh, why are you guys leaving? Nobody leave. Someone's coming on right now. You're not going to want to miss this. Let me see if he has made it to his destination yet. In traffic. All right. Well, I can still, there's some stuff I can cover. You don't want to leave, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave. I mean, if you got to go, you got to do something. You got to do something. Yeah, 500 was in the chat, Jay. I know. Let's see what the likes are at. 327. That means over 200 people. Dude, we're dropping like flies. We're down to 486. You guys don't leave. The show is not over. My goodness. How many commercials are there? I refreshed my screen. There we go. 358. We got like 100 people now. Can you guys do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe? Even if you're not active in the chat, that's fine. You got to do that. Just hit the like and subscribe. It's how you can help the channel, okay? Let's see. Locked in. Yeah, Bree, good. Glad you can join us. All right, that's not him. He's not there yet. Let's see. Let's see if we got some good comments in here. I'm late watching in double speed. But CEO said Charlie Kirk told her about the money Donald, yep. Donald James or DJT, Donald Trump, was going to take and not do anything with it. She mentioned Andrew Colvette was there with Charlie, then the Butler event. Yeah, that's in reference to Miriam Adelson, that he was just going to take the money from Miriam and then not deliver on whatever it was. Pretty interesting. And then Butler happened. Yeah. And it's also interesting that Philadelphia is using the Butler incident where Trump gets pierced in the ear as some sort of fulfillment of biblical prophecy that he is the Jewish Messiah, the one that paves the way, the one that leads the way for the Jewish Messiah, that he has to be pierced with the ear and all these other things that supposedly Donald, and that it's the place where it happened is Butler, like a servant. All these rabbis are quoting this as like some sort of, fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And it scared maybe the Jesus out of him, the life out of him, that like he got in line and now he's doing whatever Bibi says. And yeah, we're at war with Iran. Freaking A, man. Hold on. Let me see. That's not the one. It's where she was standing. That's where she's sitting, frustrated that you guys weren't able to have the counter tabling. Oh, that's not it. She's wearing that though. That is the day. But it's when she's standing and she's like, yeah, no, I haven't read the book because I realized, there it is. I found it. Yes. All right, hold on. Yes, I found it. Oh my goodness. X doesn't let you minimize and then check. Yeah, I'm glad I checked because that's my face. All right. I'm going to have to turn it up really loud. Okay, let me make sure the volume is up over here. Yes. All right, hold on.
The last few chapters, and it's not because of timing, it's just because my head's not there yet. Because there's only so many firsts you get in your life. And there's going to be the first and last time that I read that book for the first time. And so I'm really just trying to put my time on that. But
beautiful book that talks about the importance of being able to just silence the noise for a little bit and focus on what's important and eternal and true and spend time with the family. And it's just, again, his last parting words. He could have written a book on finance. Like, he could have done anything, but instead, he literally was trying to remind us that people.
Dang, you guys can't hear anything she's saying. I think that's what happened last time. Even when I turned it up, you guys couldn't hear it. Oh, hold on. Let me see what you're saying. Not hearing it. You couldn't hear anything? I know it was hard to hear. Yeah, I know. It's like I turned it up all the way on my soundboard too, and it's all the way turned up on X. Well, she that's her. This is her when she's saying that she hasn't read the book, and this was just in January. And remember, all of the book tours was in December, and she said she read the book. We watched her say it twice. She said with Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff, she read the book. It's an amazing book. I know it's such a good book. Yes, that I loved the part where he said that. She said it with Will Kane Country or whatever that podcast was. Yes, and says that she read the book. Here she's saying, no, I haven't read the book. I chose not to read the book because it is the last thing that he ever wrote. And this will be the last time I ever read that book for the first time, which is a quote from a movie. I forget the name of the movie. Somebody sent me the clip of that movie. I forget what it's called. And it's literally like almost verbatim from the script of the movie, where this like ancient manuscript was found and the person didn't want to read it because they realized it would be the last time they ever read it for the first time. So it's just crazy stupid that she could in December say she read the book, loved the book, read the book, buy the book, do what the book says. I'm doing what it says. I'm not doing what it says because I just said in the podcast, I'm only taking 2 hours or an hour instead of a day. But you should buy the book and you should do what it says. I don't have to. I'm his wife. I get to do whatever I want. Yes, Charlie said that wives should stay at home. He's not here. He's in heaven. I'm here. I'm the boss. I say what goes now. And I'm saying that it doesn't matter what Charlie and I said back then. That was then. This is now. And I want to be a boss, babe. I want to be the CEO. Oh, yeah. And Charlie said that I should be the CEO. I can't prove it, though. Don't worry. We'll just make an AI generated audio of it. No video, because that would look weird because you would be able to tell. But just trust me because I'm saying so. And I'm trustworthy. I've never lied. I lived in, I didn't live in China. I lived in China. No, I didn't live in China. I didn't drink. I don't drink. I didn't date anyone. Cabot Phillips. We were painting. It's just so crazy, man. It's just nuts. Thank you for the super chat. Yep. Let's see if the special guest is ready to go. I don't want to keep everyone just hanging on with a thread. Mm-hmm. You'll email them. Oh, well, hopefully the audio would be better than the one I had. Let's see. Skidamarinka-dinky-dink. There also was another thing I wanted to pull up. Let's see what this is. Arrest. That's the arrest timeline. We already know that's a big load of junk. All right, I'll share this and we can read this together because this I found too. That's my face. So in all over X today, Jack Posobiec, Blake Neff, Andrew Colvin, they're releasing typed up versions of what they say was in this handwritten note, and then other documents that supposedly are being released or have been released. They have them. So we'll look at this one. I'll make it bigger. I'll zoom in. We'll look at what it says. I actually haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Don't want to make it too big. Sorry if that made any of you dizzy. Wasn't trying to. All right, that's perfect. Everyone can see that. Nice and big. A search warrant was obtained for Lance. Oh, wait, let me go up. Whoa. Okay. Lance showed FBI Special Agent Lang additional messages on his cell phone from a social media app called Discord. In one of the messages that Lance showed to the investigators, the user Tylor Ickham posted the following message in a group chat. Hey guys, I have bad news for y'all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all, which is crazy because he was already in custody at this time when this supposedly went out. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you for everything. Total lies. A Facebook post was made by Turning Point USA on August 27, 2025. The post announced that Charlie Kirk would be part of the American Comeback Tour and that the first date of the tour would be September 10th, 2025, UVU. Oops. Why isn't it letting me scroll up and down? There we go. All right. A search warrant was obtained for Lance Twiggs' cell phone. During a review of the data and information stored on Lance Twiggs' device, the Statewide Information Analysis Center, SIAC, provided me with information of the two Apple ID addresses associated with Twiggs' device. The Apple ID emails were Lance Twiggs, iCloud, and memes instead of dreams at Gmail. Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs both were communicating referred to the aforementioned text messages on Apple iPhone devices. According to information obtained by FBI investigators who reviewed the information stored on Lance Twiggs' device, Twiggs took a photograph of a letter. Yeah, so we don't even have a handwritten letter to be able to do handwriting analysis. Okay. Let's see, of a letter that Tyler Robinson wrote to him. For context, Tyler Robinson had sent a message to Lance Twiggs on 9/10 that said, drop what you are doing, look under the keyboard. During Lance Twiggs' interview with investigators, he explained that he found a handwritten letter underneath the keyboard based on information from Tyler and Lance Twiggs' phones. It is believed that Tyler sometimes refers to Lance as Luna. Okay. The following is what Tyler Robinson wrote on the letter to Lance Twiggs based on the photograph found on Lance's phone. Luna, if you are reading this, okay, and we read that earlier. So this is where they're pulling that from. Maybe some of you weren't here when I read that earlier. Luna, if you are reading this per my text, then I'm sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission and set an auto text. I'm likely dead or facing lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it. I don't know if I will have succeeded, but I had hoped to make it home to you. I wish we could have lived in a world where this did not feel necessary. I wish I could have stayed for you and lived our lives together. I lack the words to express how much I love you and how very much you mean to me. Please try to find joy in this life. I love you. Always, Tyler. And then, wait, hold on. Through my training and experience, I know the Apple stores information associated with their Apple and Apple iCloud accounts users. This information is associated with specific users and is uploaded. Oh, okay. All right. And then a search warrant is being requested in accordance with the Utah code, blah, blah, blah. These chapters stipulate that a government entity must seek a warrant to require a provider to disclose location information stored, okay, for the metadata, remote computer service, electronic communications, the contents. Okay. All right. And it looks like there's more, but this says it's page 7 out of 9, search warrant number. So hopefully when all the documents drop, we will get that eventually. Hopefully. So yeah, there's that. Let's see let's see. Did somebody emailed me? Nope, can't hear the clip. Yep. All right. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Well, man, I'd really tried to stretch this out as long as I could in waiting for our special guest to come on. Let me see how far away he is real quick. All right. We'll see. Well, I'll just let you guys know it is Blake Bednards is going to be the special guest. A lot of you have been requesting for him and I to do another collab together. And he's just doing stuff with family. He's driving and he hit traffic where he was going and they had to get food and stuff. So I tried to stretch it out as long as possible to give him more time. If you guys want to interact some, throw some comments and questions in and I can read them and we can hang out until that. Or if you guys want to send me any, you can email me some videos that maybe you've seen. I know Crystal always finds good ones. Renita's hilarious. We got Glenn Coco and Bree and Mystic and Jim Bear and anyone else. You guys have my email. If you guys want to send me a video you guys want to watch together or talk about, throw it up and we can do it. Pretty sure I saw the MRK perspective this morning in Coach's chat. Probably. Let's see. She's looking at Stacy. What is more believable? Is Tyler game someone else, or did he gain access someone else's to his or gave someone else access to his Discord login and he never wrote that? Yeah. Well, either he intention. I don't think he gave someone access. I think someone gained access to his, his devices, his profiles, his password, and then, put it in. That's what I think. Let's see. Let me check and see if anyone sent anything in the last couple seconds. Oh, I do have an email. Mystic. Oh, okay. That's just a conversation. Yeah, I'll add those into the group later. Not right now. Well, you guys. All right, you guys. Common Sense Collective, conflicted, watching Candace's show. I don't like people even threatening the 25th. Only one should have been on it was the last guy. Yeah. I mean, the last guy for sure. This guy too. That's my opinion. Yeah. Trump is not a good person. No, he's compromised. He's not a Christian. He's not America first. Either he's scared for his life, he's being threatened, he's been paid off, he's being blackmailed. It's something. He's not conducting himself as he promised us, as he was before Butler. Whether he was always like this and this was the game the whole time and he just was going to turn on us at this point when it was necessary, or it was Butler and the threats and the blackmail, or he was paid off. I don't know. But this is not who we voted for. This is not what we voted for. This is not America first. This is America last. And it's so horrible. Yeah. Candace Owens addressing Trump today. Powerful. Yeah. Oh, you want to watch that? I mean, yeah, I watched it. All right. We can do that. I'm game. Oh, let's see. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sorry, I'm reading that out loud as I'm texting. All right, cool. So Blake, we're gonna have on tomorrow. So then we'll probably do the member live on Sunday. Okay. Let's pull up the Candace Owens. Since Renita is one of our steadfast, loyal. Let's see. 2 hours ago, TPUSA melts down over new Charlie Kirk evidence. Have you guys seen the James Lee? I haven't seen this. I'd love to see this with you guys. Can we watch this? Hold on. Oh, I need to add it to the screen, like from the get. All right. And then if we still want to, then we can watch the Candace Owens portion as well. Okay. Let's check this out though. I love James Lee. He's really good.
Here they are side by side, and I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting there, but it looks a little different, right? This shadow coming off of Tyler Robinson looks maybe about 10 feet, 12 feet to be generous. This looks much longer, 29 feet, they say. I think the media may have heard us yesterday that the Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk narrative is completely falling apart at the seams. It can't match the bullet. The confession message on Discord was sent after he had supposedly already been arrested, et cetera, et cetera. So today they've unleashed Fed Slop Friday.
Yes, they
Take
have.
a listen.
Yeah, well, this is a big piece of evidence in this case, Brian. Sarah, a line in his letter says, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it." A defense attorney says this shows motivation and confession.
Court documents say
They show a typed up message. Will we ever see the picture of this supposed letter? Will it even match Tyler Robinson's handwriting? Will we ever find out the truth?
Robinson's roommate got a text message telling him to look under a keyboard. Well, that's where the letter was found. The letter reads this, quote, "Luna, if you're reading this per my text, then I'm so sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission and set an auto text. I'm likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I took it. I don't know if I will / have succeeded, but I had hoped to make it home to you. I wish we could have lived."
This interview, Fox News asked Kash Patel about reports that the suspect had written a note prior to the shooting. Let's see if we can find that interview. Here we go.
Written note, did he write a written note before the assassination attempt? That's what the governor said yesterday. And what did that say, if you could
So
share
what I'm
that?
able to say, I'm sorry. So what I'm able to say is I addressed it partially earlier, is that the written note, we believe what did exist, and we have evidence to show what was in that note, which is, and I'm going to summarize, basically saying the suspect wrote a note saying, "I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." That note was written before the shooting. Evidence of its existence, we now have learned, existed before the shooting, was in the location in the suspect and partner's home. But we have since learned that the note, even though it has been destroyed, we have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI.
Couldn't you say you found a picture?
What was that again? We have found forensic evidence of a note, and we know what that note says because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI. Okay, Cash, I get it. You're a tough guy.
Yeah.
But if you read the fine print, what he meant by forensic evidence is a, quote, burnt note found in the trash. Sir, everything is burnt to a crisp, but the note is in perfect shape. Does that remind anybody of another time evidence just magically survived a fire? Anyway, I got Jack Posobiec in my comments saying, quote,
"Yep,
there is a photo of it. Did you even read the documents?" To that I say, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And forgive me for not believing or for thinking that this government might not be telling us the entire truth.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you guys remember these photos
Yes.
of Tyler Robinson allegedly walking around the neighborhood near UVU the day of the assassination?
That's Eagle Boy. And I don't know who that is. Neither of them are Tyler.
Well, Baron Coleman has once again found some peculiar inconsistencies in these photos. He says, use the shadow length calculator. Well, I went to shadow calculator, Utah. Here are the coordinates, date and time. Here they are side by side. And I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting there, but it looks a little different, right? This shadow coming off of Tyler Robinson looks maybe about.
It's not the same.
Though, is that Tyler Robinson's furry boyfriend, Lance Twiggs, has actually decided to now testify for the prosecution.
Why is everyone saying that? No, we went over this yesterday. They're going to be called to testify by the prosecution. That does not mean they're testifying for the prosecution. They don't have a choice, right? It's a subpoena. It's a court order. They could be held in contempt and even arrested if they refuse.
Quote, in a Friday court filing, attorneys for Robinson, who is accused of killing Turning Point USA founder Kirk on September 10th, revealed that prosecutors intend to call Robinson's parents and his roommate and romantic partner, Lance Twiggs, to testify at the preliminary hearing, which sort of leads to a big gaping hole that I think I've completely missed. I know other people have been looking into this, which is, who is Lance Twiggs?
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody really knows that much about him.
No.
He's allegedly been in some kind of witness protection program, I've heard, since the murder. He's basically like a ghost.
Yep.
Fortunately, decentralized journalism strikes again. People online have found that, allegedly, Sheriff Nate Brooksby, the one who just resigned for some reason, he and Lance's mom, Amy, follow each other on Instagram. Lance's mom, Amy, also follows
Yeah,
Nate
we all saw
Brooksby's
that.
wife.
All right, so he's just covering stuff that we've already seen. All right. Okay. All right, guys, let me make sure I hit all the supers. All right, cool. We did. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the like and hit the subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. You guys are the best community on the internet. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to have Blake Bednards on. It's going to be great. Sunday, we'll do a members only live. And then Tuesday or Wednesday, it's going to be Blake Bednards, Zach Costello, and John Bray and myself. You won't want to miss. All right, you guys. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Thank you. Bye.